I come to you in the most precious name of Abba Father, sharing with you a warning and a dream that I have been given to share with the remnant of the Almighty God. So before I get started, let me just say a quick prayer and then we'll go right in, okay? Father, may the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be it. Well, when I say things, I can't refer to these things as people because they look like people, but they weren't people. They were a mixture of the walking zombis. They look like regular people. They also had a sense of like a foreign intelligence in them. Also an unidentified intelligence in them. And they were also numb. They also had a demonic presence in them as well. They were numb. They had no feelings. They had no heart, no remorse. They were just out of it. But they knew, it was like they knew who I was. So what God has been sharing with me is a lot of his people think that just because you have the mark or you have the seal on you, that you're going to be, protected. It's true, you're going to be protected, but the seal is not to hide you. The seal that you are marked and sealed with is for you to stand out. So if you have been marked with the seal of God, you're going to stand out to these things, to the people, to everyone in the world. They're going to know who you are. It's like the seal of God that is on your forehead that has been placed there by the angels it's a beacon of light. It's beaming a light within you. So no matter where you go, these things, as well as regular people, they will see you. You will stand out. So in this dream, I saw this man. He was hiding in this area where it was like a house, but then there was a boat and his wife was pregnant. It was a white man with a wife and she was blonde hair. So I don't know why I have to mention that. I guess I have to mention that to let y'all know that this applies to everybody. It's not just one culture, one nationality, one race. It doesn't just apply to if you're Christian or if you're religious or if you love God. This is going to apply for the entire planet. This is going to apply for everyone. So the guy was hiding. It was a house, but under his house there was some type of latch under the boat where he made this whole underground area for him and his wife and to hide. And she was pregnant, but she was like 9 months pregnant. So he was hiding her there, but he would leave out from time to time to go get her food. But one day, one of the neighbors saw him leave. And when the neighbor saw him leave, the neighbor was one of these things. And this neighbor was like a walking, I'll just say a walking, it was a walking thing because I want this word to get out. So it was a walking thing. And it saw the guy leave and then it hopped the wall just like he hopped the wall. It found the keys that he hid and then it went inside of this underground area. And the wife, she was so huge. You can tell she was at least 9 months pregnant with like twins or triplets or something because she was real like balloon big out there, but extra. So he raped her and he killed her. So hopefully I can say those words. But so basically she was gone. And then it shifted from her to me seeing that these areas of these stores where it's like God was showing me that all this land that you see, all of a sudden you see construction workers all of a sudden in your area. So these construction workers, they're building huge buildings. So have you noticed they're building apartments, but these new apartments, they're not like the old apartments. These are apartments that can fit maybe like 200 to 500 people inside of one apartment complex because they're like a cluster of apartments. And then the houses, they're not single houses. Some are single houses, some are huge, but a lot of them are cluster houses where they're just, you come outside the door and there you are right there next to your neighbor. You can see, everyone can see each other. There's no backyard. Your backyard is facing your neighbor. So this is what they're conditioning the society to head for. So everyone can see everyone. So they're opening up these fields. I saw these open fields everywhere. But then what caught my attention was the store was in a really huge open field, but the store was huge. It was like 2 Costco's and Sam Clubs and Walmarts put together, right? But there was only about, like the first aisle of food at Aldi's, it was only like one aisle. Like when you first walk in, there's that fresh fruit aisle. That was the only amount of food that was in that whole entire warehouse. So what I was being shown was that coming ahead is they're going to use these warehouses / stores as ways to pull people out of hiding. So people are going to think that these are stores, but they're not stores. They're just something that's there to pull you out of hiding. So with that being said, I'm also to tell you, there are some alerts and some commercials that are going around right now. They're flooded like big time off of the social medias right now. And they're telling people, call this number and we'll give you your, $400 a month, and you get $1,500 a month, and you get free, insurance from the government. Call this number. That's not what they're telling you guys that's for. That is a tracking system. They know a lot of people went underground and a lot of people need money. So they're using that as a tracking system to pull people from out of hiding. So back to the dream. Now, another part of the dream, I kept running, but at this point in time, I was running like with my family, and I end up finding this area where the guy ran with his wife, and they were hiding on the ground. But I went up to where the boat latch thing was at, and we were trying to figure out how to open it, and finally we figured out how to open it. But we opened it and went in there, but we can only stay for a little bit of time because we end up having to run and leave, because it's like they put some type of tag or sensor inside, so they knew that someone was in there. So what I was seeing in my dream was that, how everyone's, they're doing some type of prepping, or, they have like these bug out bags and things like that. There was none of that, y'all. Like there was no one making no full course meal. Like you were lucky if you got a piece of bread or if you got a granola bar for 3 people to share, but no one could cook. It's like the whole world. And when I say the whole world, everybody was in hiding. So, and then there was no sleeping in. Someone had to keep watch. You were always constantly on the run. We were always constantly on the run. It's like, it seemed like the second we find a place to rest or to sleep, we had to jump up again because someone was coming or someone was chasing us. So, but these things that were chasing us, they were always trying to inject us with these needles, with these things, the stuff inside of these needles, but we were always refusing it or rejecting it. So every time you turn around, we're always constantly running or constantly trying to get away. But at the end of the dream, I was noticing that a couple of my family members were standing next to these things. And I ran out of this area. It looked like a nursing home area. And I ran out of this area. But at this point, I was exhausted. I was tired. It seemed like I was running for at least minimum 5 days straight without any sleep at all. And this thing, like first they used to chase me. But then at the very end, like when I got ready to wake up, one of the things stood back next to my family members. And it's like it wasn't even trying to come at them. One of the things, there was 2 of them. Actually, there was 3, but there was 2 at this point. One stood next to my family members, and the other one, it went to chase me, but I was tired and I was running with all of my might at full speed ahead. But this thing at this point, it didn't even run. It just walked towards me. But its walking was like, how you see something like in a scary movie and it walks, but it like walks, run, or walks, slide. That's what this thing did towards me. So when I saw it coming towards me, I was like, I'm just tired. I can't even, I'm tired. I can't even run no more. I'm just tired. So I woke up with this thing coming towards my face, but it wasn't running. It was just walk sliding. And it was looking at me like, yeah, I got you, or yeah, I'm coming for you. So I woke up to that notion, knowing that that's what the thing's going to look like, when I see it, because I know that not only was this a dream, but it was a premonition. So I also noticed in this dream how the people, like my family members that was standing back next to the one that wasn't running or chasing with the other one, what I was noticing that at some point in time, it seemed like these things were coming after like the leaders, the remnant of God, those who were seeking God's face the most, those who were given instructions from God. They were trying to shut them down. They were chasing them, coming after them specifically. But the people, like your family members and your friends that were standing next to these people, they weren't coming after them at some point in time. And I was picking up that they weren't coming after them because it's like they weren't no threat. They were going to comply with whatever these people told them, because the only reason they weren't complying was because of what the people of God was telling them. The only reason they knew they were bad is because the people of God, the remnant of God, were telling them that these people were not good. So after they got rid of the remnant of God, that's when the others were able to just follow suit, because they had no further instructions, because they weren't seeking God for themselves. They weren't getting the answers for themselves. So the dream was showing me that now is the time to prepare. Now is the time to get in shape. Now is the time to seek God's face, to get the answers straight from God. Don't look for your information off the internet. You have to build a personal relationship with the living God, because it is only God who will give you instructions. It was God that was giving me instructions in the dream to when to wake up, when to run. We would know when to run, when to escape, when to hide. It's like we would wake up a few seconds, before someone came in the building. Another thing I noticed as well is the guy who died in the dream, whose wife passed away as well. When he left to go get some food, they ended up taking him out, right? They took him out, but there was a knowing in my spirit in the dream that wherever he went, whether he went to heaven or hell or he was in the grave, wherever he went, his blood was crying out from the grave. It's like he was trying to come back from another realm to say, I got to go tell my wife that, I passed on. I got to tell my wife that I'm no longer on earth no more. I got to go tell her that I'm not there. So therefore she'll know, therefore she'll be safe. So the guy was doing everything in his power to try to come back from the grave to let his loved one know that he was no longer on the earth. So therefore she can be in safety, because it's like she was inside, but she was comfortably waiting for him versus like keeping watch. Even the fact that she got caught off guard by a stranger coming inside, it's like she got so comfortable with her husband's word that she wasn't even inside herself keeping watch. So I feel like that was symbolic to say, you got to personally keep watch yourself, because you never know if the people that leave your home, if they're going to make it back, or if they're going to be able to give you a warning, or if they'll give you a warning at all. You could be the one that gets the warning. So another thing that I was noticing is that these things, they have no heart. They have no feelings. They when they talk, and this is interesting too, because I had a few encounters with angels, and I would see angels in my dream. But angels, when they talk, they don't talk with their mouth. They use their eyes when they communicate. So these things, that's what they were. They were fallen angels. These things, they were communicating as well with their eyes. So they were communicating with their eyes. As they were communicating with their eyes, there was no life in them. They were just completely dead. And many people feel like the unidentified flying objects, they feel like those are their friends, or they're coming here to help them or to assist them or save them. No, those are not your friends. The Nephilims, all those returning giants, they're going to come back. They'll be walking amongst us. They'll be returning again, but they will know that you're chosen of God. They're jealous of you. They know that you have the seal. They once had the seal themselves. They once had the light themselves. So they're going to be trying to give you this SHOT, which I feel is very symbolic of what's coming up ahead, because no man is able to buy